The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Miss Mehari Simmons. Chapter 11. On the Island. When Tom awoke in the morning, he wondered where he was. He sat up and rubbed his eyes and looked around. Then he remembered it was the cold gray dawn, and there was a delightful sense of peace in the deep calm and silence of the woods. Not a leaf dry dewdrops stood upon the leaf and grass. A white layer of ash covered the fire, and a blue thread of smoke rose straight into the air. Joe and Huck still slept. Now, far away in the woods, a bird called, another answered. Gradually, the cold, dim gray of the morning whitened, and as gradually sounds multiplied, and life revealed itself. The marvel of nature shaking off sleep and going to work unfolded itself to the boy. A little green worm came crawling over the dewy leaf. Tom sat as still as a stone, with his hope rising and falling as the creature still came toward him. All showed a tendency to go elsewhere. When it finally came down upon Tom's leg and began a journey over him, his old heart was glad of that mean that he was going to have a new suit of clothes without a shadow of doubt. A glorious practical uniform. Now a procession of ants appeared and went about their labors. One struggled with a dead spider 5 times as big as itself and dragged it straight up a tree's trunk. A tiny spot beetle climbed up the great height of a glass blade, and Tom bent down close to it and said, Ladybird, fly away home. Your house is not fire, your children alone. She flew off to see about it. We did not surprise the boy, for he had long known that the ladybird was away ready to live. Story about fire. The birds were singing madly by now. Once swept down a flash of blue flame and stopped on a branch almost within the boy's reach. With leaned its head to one side and eyed the stronger with immense curiosity. All nature was wide awake. Long beams of sunlight disappeared down through the leafy branches, and a few butterflies came dancing upon the scent. Tom rushed the other pirate, 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 and in a minute or two they was changing after and falling over each other in the shallow water of the sandbar. The current had carried off their raft, but this only delighted him, since its going was something like burning the bridge between them and civilization. They came, they came back to camp wonderfully refreshed and hungry, and as hungry as well. They soon they soon had the campfire blazing up again. Huck found a spring of clear cold water close by, and the boy made cup full of leaf. Tom and Huck stepped to a promising place on the river bank and threw in their fishing lines. Almost immediately they had their reward, enough fish for a family. They, they fried, they fried the fish and were astonished, for no fish has ever seemed so delicious before. They did not know that the quicker a freshwater fish is on the fire after it is catch, the better it is, and they did not stop to think that sleeping, exercise, and bathing in the open air had given him an excellent appetite. They lay about in the shade after breakfast, while while Huck had a smoke and then went off through the woods exploring. They found plenty of things to be delight with, but nothing to be astonished at. They had a swim every hour, so it was about the middle of the afternoon when they got back to camp. They was too hungry to stop to fish, but they had a good meal of meat and threw themselves down in the shade to talk. But the talk soon began to drunk and then die. The quietness that hung over the woods, and the scent of loneliness began to have an effect on the spirits of the boys. The work longing crept upon them. This took dim shape presently. It brought budding homesickness. Even Finch, the red hand, was dreaming of his doorstep and his empty barrel with their but but they were all ashamed of their weakness, and none was brave enough to say what was in his mind. For some time now, the boys had heard a peculiar peculiar sound in the distance. On hearing a louder sound, the boys started glanced at each other inquiringly and listened. There was a long silence, deep and unbroken. Then a dull sound came floating down out of the distance. What is it? Asked Joe in a whisper. Let's go and see, said Tom. They sprang to their feet with her and hurried to bank facing the village. They part the bush and peered out. The little steam ferry boat was not transporting people from bank but to bank as usual, but was about a mile below the village. Her deck her deck seemed crowded with people. There were many small boats being rowed about or floating with the current in the neighborhood of the ferry boat, but the boys could not see what the men in them were doing. After a time, there was a puff of white smoke from the side of the ferry boat, and as it rode in a lazy cloud, that same dull sound was bound was born to the listener again. I know now, exclaimed Tom. Somebody is drowned. That's it? Said Huck. They didn't that last summer when Bill Turner was drowned and they shoot a big gun over the water and that makes body come up through surface. The boy continued to listen and watch. Then a revealing thought thought fled through Tom's mind, and he exclaimed, "Boy, I know who I drowned. Where?" They felt like heroes. They felt like heroes and instead they were missed. They were beginning web over. Hearts were breaking for them, and best of all, they were the talk of the whole town, and the envy of all the the boys of all the boys. This was glorious. It was worth while begin a pirate. After all, as twilight drew on, the ferry boat went back to her accusation business, and the rowing boat disappeared. The pirate returned to camp. They were swollen with vanity over their new importance and the great trouble that they were causing. They were causing. They caught fish, cooked supper, and ate it, and then began to guess what the village was thinking and saying about them. But when the shadows of night closed round them, they gradually ceased to talk, and sat gazing into the fire with their mind evidently wandering elsewhere. The excitement had had gone now, and Tom and Joe could not keep out thought of certain persons at home who were not enjoying adventure their fine adventure as much as they were assigned or assigned or to escape unwares. Tom, said Joe hesitantly. Pirate, pirate, pirate do go home sometimes, don't they? Tom poured scorn upon him. Huck had not say a word on the subject, and was therefore free to join free to join free to join in with Tom. Joe made accused and firmly denied that he was suffering from homesickness or that he wished to desert. As the night deepened, Huck began to nod and presently fell asleep. Joe follows. Next, Tom lay watching the two for some time. At least, at last, he got up cautiously and went searching among the grass and the dim light of the campfire. He picked up and inspected several like pieces of the thin white bark of a tree, and finally chose two. Then he knelt kneeled by the fire and wrote something on each of these in pencil. One he rolled up and put in his coat pocket, and the other he put in treasures, among them a piece of chalk, a rubber ball, 3 fish hooks, and special kind of marble. Then he tiptoed away.